Hi, this is Skip Heitzig, and it's no secret, the eyes of the world are on the Middle East. I've spent a great deal of time in Israel, and I've recently spoken about what the Bible has to say about a coming war between Russia and Israel. I think you'll find these highlights helpful and encouraging as you understand future events in these turbulent times. Nations that are bully nations see a weakness in the West, the unwillingness in the West, and people like Vladimir Putin in Russia make moves on nations like Soviet Georgia, Crimea, and most recently Ukraine to attack them. In fact, Vladimir Putin has had a desire to restore Russia to its former glory, and in so doing to humiliate the United States, whom he blames for the destruction of the Soviet Union. Vladimir Putin said that the USSR, and I'm quoting, was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. So that is who we're dealing with in Russia. Now, what's amazing is that 2,600 years ago, there was a Jewish prophet by the name of Ezekiel who foretold Russia's rise to power in the last days. He foretold of a coalition and a conflict that is typically known as the War of Gog and Magog, a very famous predicted battle. I'll give you the spoiler alert right up front. I'll give you the plot. Ezekiel describes an eschatological conflict led by a leader of a region whose ancient name was Magog. Today, it is known as the Russian Federation. This leader forms a military alliance with other nations, and they all come to attack Israel at some point. Then Ezekiel predicts something really incredible, and that is how those enemies that attack are dealt with, how the coalition is defeated. And as we read the text, we do not read about the superior military might of the Israelis, nor do we hear of the allies of Israel coming to help them, but we read about how God, on his own, supernaturally moves to defend Israel and destroy her enemies. The second reason this is fascinating is that as we go through the language in chapter 39 of Ezekiel, the language seems to imply the use of nuclear weaponry. But I want you to note something up front. Lest you think that this whole prophecy thing of Gog and Magog is just something crazy fundamental Christians in America deal with, but nobody else is really into that. The Jewish people know about this battle. Talk to a rabbi, read Jewish commentaries, look up Jewish encyclopedias. You will discover all of them speak about a coming war in the future called the War of Gog and Magog. And they will tell you that it will be a battle that will happen later on or toward the end before the Messiah comes. So it is not unknown, but well known in Judaism. Also, the Muslims know about this war. And it has found its way into the Quran even, though it is called in Arabic the Battle of Yajuj and Majuj. But it's the same battle. I want you to know something else going into this. Bible prophecy can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean that it's designed to be unknowable. So don't throw up your arms and go, okay, this is weird, I can't ever understand this. Yes, you can. It's why the angel said to Daniel, know and understand. It's why Jesus said, know therefore and understand. It can be complicated, but it can be unraveled, and it is designed to be understood. So we should approach Ezekiel 38 and 39 believing what Paul said to Timothy, that all Scripture is inspired by God and given for our profit.